Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Fueling the final push.
This will be the first of its kind here in North America and the only one producing cobalt sulfate here on the continent.
A $20 million federal investment is set to complete construction on the North's massive cobalt refinery. Plus, progress and partnerships.
We're very excited about what that's going to look like when it's done.
Several projects are underway in Sault Ste. Marie, led by an area First Nation. And a gratitude that spans generations.
I think it's so important for survivors like myself and everybody else to remember.
As the Netherlands marks National Day of Remembrance, North Bay keeps those ties alive.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off. A worker at Agnico Eagle's Upper Beaver project east of Kirkland Lake died on the job Friday. The company announced the fatal incident on social media today, expressing its condolences and saying in part, the team at Upper Beaver is currently cooperating with local authorities to determine the cause of the incident. We reached out to the Ministry of Labour and Ontario Provincial Police, but no one has responded. Electra Battery Materials has signed a deal with the federal government. It will unlock another $20 million to complete construction and commissioning of the battery-grade cobalt sulfate refinery south of Timiskaming Shores. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
Then turn it to a pulp.
Construction is progressing on the new $100 million cobalt sulfate refinery at Electra Battery Materials.
Raw feed is stored here.
In March 2025, negotiations between the company and the federal government began on a $20 million deal. Today, that deal was signed. The funding includes a combination of repayable and non-repayable contributions, bringing Ottawa's total investment to $35 million since 2020.
In the world in which we're heading, where we're going to be relying on lithium-ion batteries for various consumer products, but in particular for electric vehicles, we require this particular ingredient.
Eventually, we may have the capacity to take additional feedstock from local projects as they come online. For now, we'll be bringing material in from very select companies in DRC, so 80% of the world's cobalt comes from the Congo today.
In 2024, the U.S. Department of Defense contributed $20 million U.S. to kickstart refinery construction. But since then, American lawmakers have gotten cold feet on EVs. Meanwhile, senior levels of government are buying in. Last September, the province chipped in $17.5 million, and Rochefort says the federal government sees the value in the plant.
In general, throughout the world, electric vehicles is the trend, and so basically we anticipate that there's going to be substantial need.
About 94% of the current global supply of refined cobalt comes from China. Electra's goal is to stand out as one of the few producers with no ties to foreign entities.
There's only one other facility in the world outside of this one that can do what this one can do. So this will be the first of its kind here in North America and the only one producing cobalt sulfate here on the continent.
Electra aims to start producing the compound in early 2027. 60 new full-time jobs will be added, and the refinery will be able to produce 6,500 tons of cobalt sulfate annually, enough to support domestic production of up to 1 million electric vehicles per year.
Really, really nice to see it getting really close to fruition, and really looking forward to working closely with Electra.
A majority of production will be sold to LG Energy Solution under a legally binding contract. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Cobalt.
Wikwemkong Tribal Police have charged 4 people in a major drug bust. Friday, police seized what they believe to be cocaine, fentanyl, and other street drugs valued at more than $126,000, along with $20,000 in cash. Officers also confiscated illegal weapons. Also over the weekend, tribal police responded to gunshots in the village of Wikwemkong. One man had to be airlifted to Sudbury's Health Sciences North after he was injured in the shooting. A 32-year-old man from the unceded territory was arrested at the scene and charged with attempted murder and other firearms-related charges. Police are asking anyone with surveillance footage to contact them. In light of these and other incidents in the community, Wickwam Council held a news conference live on social media this morning. Officials saying they held an emergency meeting over the weekend, and when it comes to drugs and violence, enough is enough.
The most important direction approved is this. People, community members, anyone involved in serious drug trafficking, weapons of violence, intimidation, exploitation, or harboring dealers will be removed from Wickwam and prevented from returning to our community unless they meet strict conditions.
The duration would be a minimum of 2 years and would apply to repeat offenders. The chief adding first-time offenders could be prohibited from the community if the crime is serious enough in nature. He stressed this is not a punishment, especially for those who are battling addictions and mental health, saying the 2 years should be used to access treatment, find legitimate employment, and rebuild trust with the community. Several development projects in Sault Ste. Marie are in the works, with an area First Nation leading the charge. CTV's Corey Nordstrom tells us more.
After having sat mostly vacant for the last 6 years, the former Agiro call center building has a new owner.
We're moving our business corporation up there and the Indigenous Emergency Management organization up there too. So we're doing a training center there. We're in the midst of redesigning it, and we're very excited about what that's going to look like when it's done.
Housing has also been a major focus for Missinaibi Cree First Nation. Its business corporation has recently begun a project to turn the former St. Hubert's Elementary School into 53 rental units. The first 15 units could be occupied this summer, with the remaining units expected to be complete next year. Also, the former Catalina Motel was reportedly purchased by the corporation at the end of last year for roughly $1.8 million. After demolition, a transitional housing project will commence.
I'm not sure how many we have total, but I think we're looking at about 33. We're looking at creating a space for our community members that are not in the best housing situation.
The First Nation was only declared a reserve in 2018, with members now scattered across the province, mostly residing in the Sioux and Toronto. These two housing builds reflect a mandate that has led Missinaibi to develop affordable units in those two cities, as well as Belleville, Thunder Bay, and potentially Sudbury.
Because our community members have been away from reserve so long, we want to make sure that they have access to housing and affordable housing in the places they've decided to settle that aren't in Missinaibi.
While housing where community members are is the current goal, Missinaibi leadership say they ultimately want to bring members back to their reserve. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
OPP in Kirkland Lake have charged 3 people with attempted murder after a weapons-related incident Saturday afternoon. Police were called to Wood Street after reports of a firearm. One person was taken to the local hospital before being flown to a trauma center with life-altering injuries. The suspects were all from Quebec. A 17-year-old girl was taken to hospital after a collision in the greater Sudbury community of Chelmsford yesterday. Police responded to the pedestrian vehicle crash around 11:30 last night on Highway 144. The teen was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police are asking anyone with information on the collision to contact them. With the need for more housing in Greater Sudbury, vacant schools could be the answer. We get more from CTV's Angela Gemmel.
Yes. Peter No points out which part of this new housing development in New Sudbury was once a former school.
There's lots of land here, which is what we were looking for. Above and beyond the school, there's quite a bit of land that we developed 3 additional buildings behind the school. and the location was fantastic for development.
Stonebrook Suites is a 74-unit housing development. 20 of those units were once a part of the St. Bernadette Catholic Elementary School, shuttered in 2015. No says there wasn't much difficulty retrofitting the school. They even refurbished the old gym and are still adding more housing to the property. Meanwhile, 3 vacant school properties in the valley are up for sale on the GovDeals auction website. All are former school properties owned by Conseil Scolaire Catholique Nouveau-Lan. All could potentially be used for housing. According to Sudbury's housing supply strategy, 112 purpose-built rental units are needed each year for the next 30 years. But the city stopped short of buying property itself and instead updated its zoning bylaw, allowing institutional properties be used for residential use.
Incentives that we have in place apply to a broad geography, so they're not limited strictly to the adaptive reuse of school sites, but allow for a broad range of adaptive reuse or for new development as well on existing vacant sites across the city.
No says there are still a few units left at Stonebrook Suites, and he's developing other housing sites elsewhere.
We're developing more in Chelmsford presently right now. We also have some land in the south end that we're proposing to do some development in the near future.
Any schools?
I've went to look at a few schools, but a few of them were a little bit run down.
No says he's not opposed to buying and developing a vacant school again, adding it just must be the right opportunity. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
All right, it's time for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, we'll have your full weather forecast, but for now, a look at the current conditions outside your doorstep, and it has cooled off a fair bit. 6 degrees in Chapleau, 8 degrees in Elliott Lake, cloudy skies across the board, some light rain falling into Temiskaming Shores. How will temperatures fare for the rest of the week? We'll have those details after the break.
Welcome back to another week of, well, indecisive weather. Let's check out our forecast radar from Environment Canada. We've got some sleet in the forecast, flurries or showers, as you are about to discover over the course of the next couple of days as we wind our way to Mother's Day weekend. Let's check out some of those numbers now. Sudbury Nickel Belt. Chance of sleet tomorrow at 40%, a high of only 9 degrees Wednesday with the sunshine. Sleet 3 consecutive days, your highs around 10, so you might get the odd sunny break in one of those 3 days. Sunday, here we go, Mother's Day, 12 degrees, some sun and clouds, still below normal at this time of the year. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of flurries tomorrow at 6, 7 on Wednesday, sunny skies. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 30% chance of sleet. Your highs 8 and 9 degrees. Sunday, sun and cloud and 11. So not too bad. Still a few degrees short of seasonal for this time of, well, early May. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Here's a run of a lot of sleet, some showers or flurries beginning on Tuesday and continuing right through until Sunday. 60% tomorrow, then 30% Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, you'll get the odd sunny break. 4, 6, 8, 6, 7, and 8. Your expected highs, even your nighttime temperatures somewhat cooler, -1 and 0, going all the way up to +1 by next Sunday. Then there's a story in Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Chance of showers tomorrow at 10, 12 on Wednesday, sun and cloud. Thursday, we've got the chance of sleet, and more of the same on Friday and Saturday, all at 30%. 10, 8, and 9, your daytime highs. Sunday, Mother's Day, some sun and cloud, and 10 evening temperatures, well, -3, -2, and +1. So again, some cooler temperatures in the northeast over the course of the next week or so. North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of showers tomorrow at 11. Another 11-degree day on Wednesday, sun and cloud. Chance of sleet at 30% for 3 consecutive days, 9, 8, and 9. Once again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, some sun and cloud at 11. So, Amanda, just like last week, we're starting off with a rather ambiguous weather forecast. We certainly hope it changes according to Environment Canada. Back to you.
Let's hope for that. Thanks, Rick. Timmins Mayor Michelle Boileau has announced she is seeking re-election. As CTV's Lydia Chubak tells us, Boileau is not the only Northern mayor running again.
Over the past 4 years, Mayor Michelle Boileau says Timmins has advanced major priorities in infrastructure, housing, economic development, and community planning. She says her job isn't done yet.
And so I would hate to lose that momentum that we've built and to take a step back and to lose sight of some of those important initiatives that we've been driving forward.
Boileau says it's time to keep building a city that is stronger, more connected, and ready for what's next. The mayor did not discuss homelessness during her announcement, but told CTV News since 2023, it's risen by over 130%.
We should be able to see some positive results in the coming years. But quite frankly, without adequate housing, and we won't be able to get that done without the support of other orders of government.
Rob Knox and Lawrence Martin have also announced they will be running against Boileau. CTV News polled other large northern city mayors, and at the time of this broadcast, only the mayor of Sault Ste. Marie says he will be seeking re-election. He says his main priority is focusing on the local economy.
The difficult economic situation, which stems from the tariffs and also stems from Algoma's transition to electric arc steelmaking, is the main issue in the community and the one that needs the greatest attention in order for it to be, there to be continued opportunities here in town for people who want to stay in town. And so I plan to focus strongly on the economic issues, and that's why the Port of Sault Ste. Marie is the thing I would like to see through over the course of the next term, so that we can offer an economic incentive, essentially, to companies that need to be close to the water and need to be able to ship their goods.
The municipal election is on Monday, October 26th. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
In Mattawa, the Canadian Ecology Centre is reopening after an 11-month hiatus. The centre closed after the devastating storm moved through the Samuel de Champlain Provincial Park last June. Its founder says the not-for-profit has had no money coming in, which has left it with a shortfall. As a result, he tells CTV News he's looking forward to welcoming people back, adding the park looks different.
And so now when you go into the park, you're going to see parts of the park landscape. They've taken away all the trees. In some places, they've taken away all the stumps. It's very, very stark. And what was a dense forest with enormous red and white pine trees is now gone.
The Canadian Ecology Centre will reopen May 8th. Students from the Rainbow District School Board took over Laurentian University's Fraser Auditorium today for the annual Eco Summit. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Warm, it felt like a good day to be setting off for the Arctic.
Keynote speaker, professional explorer, and national best-selling author Adam Schultz shared about his latest adventure, a 3,400-kilometer solo journey from Lake Erie to the Arctic.
It seemed like I was among kindred spirits. They were extremely enthusiastic. We had a whole forest of hands go up there. But I was hoping that if I can inspire them to care a little bit more about going out into the wild, then you're already planting the seed for environmental stewardship.
The annual event put on by the Rainbow District School Board's Environmental Education Committee celebrated the theme of our land, our forests, our life.
We're hoping that all of our students become inspired and empowered to take all of their learnings to go back to their school communities and implement some positive change.
Greenhouse work, we have a learning TP.
Students got to hear what other schools in the board are already doing, as well as participate in workshops from yoga to invertebrate identification and food forests to discovering the story of Junction Creek.
Nature's really cool and it can be more interesting than you would think.
Like there's a lot to explore that we also haven't seen yet. And I think people should try to explore more of it.
This is the third year for the Eco Summit, and officials say plans are already underway for next year. Over 350 students from grades 6 to 12 took part in today's event. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit is warning that with the warmer weather, tick season has started. The health unit is starting the conversation about ticks after a record number of Lyme disease cases last year. 71%, which were reported, were caused by tick bites. Lyme disease can take anywhere from 3 to 30 days to show symptoms, including the bullseye-shaped rash, fever, chills, fatigue, and nausea. The health unit says it's important to check yourself, children, and pets for ticks if you've been outdoors, and to remove ticks right away. Today is the National Day of Remembrance in the Netherlands, and Canadians took part in the ceremony at the Algonquin Regiment in North Bay. CTV's Madison Merrier reports.
Empty jars with the Netherlands flag soon came to life with tulips as the bell rang.
The Algonquin Regiment had a very vital role to play in liberating the town of Welberg in World War II. And a year ago, the bell was gifted to us and to ring every 4th of May and also the first Sunday in November in celebration of our friendship, our continued heritage, that history of liberation.
The bell was one of 2 that was gifted to Canada to ring in unison with the bell in Welberg, Netherlands, honoring all who passed away in World War II and during the Battle of Welberg.
I think it shows the ties that we have, both based on our history together, a history forged in war in World War II, but it's also a history that endures into today and into the future.
Sandra O'Grady's father was one of the Canadian soldiers who was taken as a prisoner of war and says the bell will serve as a reminder of the past to ensure Canada always remembers.
I don't have the words. I think it's so important for survivors like myself and everybody else to remember.
As part of the Dutch tradition, all who attended were invited to ring the bell and place a flower to show respect for the past and for the memory of the lives forever changed. Madison Merrier, CTV News, North Bay.
And Army reservists from the 33 Canadian Brigade Group will be training in Sudbury this month. Soldiers from across Ontario will be seen along local roadways in full uniform and gear, including unloaded weapons. Residents are asked to take extra caution around the soldiers and military vehicles if you come across them on the roads. Ontario Mine Rescue's district competitions will soon get underway this week. They are going to be held in 5 different locations with 8 districts competing. First response skills will be put to the test. Skills like firefighting, collapse, extrication, and first aid. It also deals with low visibility environments while wearing breathing apparatuses. Officials say these types of scenarios get them ready for the underground environment.
We try to make them as realistic as possible. We're going to have our mine rescue officers throughout the next, week, probably even starting this weekend, setting up arenas to look, mimic an underground mine as much as we possibly can.
Ontario Mine Rescue competitions start Wednesday. The provincial competition is in Sudbury in June. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A production with Northern Roots is touring the Northeast. Details next. From the shores of the Atlantic to the mines of Sudbury, a new Canadian play is coming home to the people who inspired it.
I don't remember the last time I saw Patrick. How long do you think he's been in Sudbury for? About 3 months, I think. And how did he get his job here?
Jesus, buddy.
Pat the Dog Theatre creation is bringing Calling the Rock home to Coppercliff starting tomorrow night, the second stop on a northern tour. Written by Karen Thistle, the story of 3 Newfoundlanders migrating to Ontario's mines already played to a packed house in Timmins last week. Thistle, who was born in Coppercliff, says she's honored a northern audience will have the opportunity to see a northern story.
Although I'm talking about mining and the industry and, having to leave for work, I'm really talking about what is home. Is it where you're from? Is it the people you come with? Is it the friends and family that you make here? So that's the inspiration.
Having to adapt all the lighting, the spacing,
was fun. There's always something new to discover in every run we got to do. We got great reactions from the audiences, especially from some who were from Newfoundland, who'd worked in the mines, and being able to hear their stories and feelings connected to what we're telling.
Touring theatre is a blast. It feels great to be able to tour theatre in Northern Ontario. I'm originally from North Bay, currently based out of Toronto, but it's been a real pleasure to tour with this group.
The 4-show run at Bryston's on the Park kicks off tomorrow, and the production heads to Sault Ste. Marie next week. Tickets are available online. And finally for us tonight, it's Star Wars Day today, and fans of the iconic franchise are celebrating the birth of a galaxy far, far away. Every year, Star Wars Day is informally celebrated on May the 4th as a play on the famous movie line, "May the Force be with you." The franchise that kicked off in 1977 has grown to become a media, comic, and video game behemoth. And may the 4th be with you. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. Thanks for watching. I'll be back here tomorrow. Hope to see you then.